Today's video is brought to you by Grey Viking Games. Click the link in the description below to buy MTG Arena codes for cosmetics, packs, and more. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're gonna have some fun playing Magic. And one of my favorite things about coming into a next set is that I go through all the different cards that didn't actually get to see a lot of play in the previous set. Of course, I play all the more important decks, all the things that are actually doing stuff, the janky things that need to happen, and then I dive into some historic stuff. And then these last like 2 weeks, I always start going back, like, what cards didn't actually get to see play? What things did I not do? And there's always these gems, and I'm like, oh man, how did I not play this card? Follow the Imposter, 3 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and then second saga, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and then the third saga, exile creature with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. So this is just a removal spell, but it takes forever to get to. That's one of the biggest issues with this, is it doesn't do enough the turn it comes out. It's just better to be running actual removal. But if we're playing a +1/+1 counter deck, this effect just coming out there and like, okay, well, on your turn you also lose the best creature you have, and then we get to swing in with all of our creatures, actually not the worst. And so I don't think I've seen anyone play this out, because I have not seen anyone actually test this card out to see how good it does. And so I'm interested to see how well we can play here. So I'm trying to play a full-on +1/+1 counter deck. We have Bozzu's Lieutenant as like the main synergy to work with it. Anything with +1/+1 counters, we get knights afterwards. We have Bozzu Solidarity just to put counters onto everything. We have one Vorinclex. Otherwise, we're not really focusing that much on counters other than just going wide and hitting hard. And then of course Swarm Shambler, which lets us go put insects if ever anything gets targeted, which can end up letting us go really wide, which then Bozzu Solidarity becomes even more awesome. Of course, we also have Bozzu's Ket, just because, why not, Anyway, the deck is mostly mono white with kind of the splash of green for Mammoth, Scavenging Ooze, Swarm Shambler. Questing Beast is just a good thing to be putting lots of counters onto as well. It's a good card in general. Just trying to kind of play value here, as well as just good stuff. Make sure we have good removal, Giant Killer, Skyclave Apparition, Kabir Takedowns, and Follow the Imposter as our main removal spells. And otherwise, yeah, this is the deck. So 27 creatures, 20 lands, not including the Mammoth and the Kabir Takedown, so 25 altogether. And that's the deck, guys. Let's go and jump into the gameplay, see how this one does for us. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and let's jump into it. Here we go. All right, up against Tommy Noli. And this is one of the biggest issues. I threw in Fabled Passage because of the Mammoths, and maybe we just need to take those out because they're not quite worthwhile to have tapped lands. This is better. Keep this, drop the Vorinclex. Swarm Shambler is pretty decent. Yeah, it's a really good turn 1 play for us. Swarm Shambler. Now, even if it gets targeted, we get a creature out of it, so it's all fine. Fine and dandy. They may still hit it here just because, like, Fervent Champion get through a dude a little bit easier, although they would have already cast that, right? They're really debating on this Frostbite. Do we want to do it? Okay, shock. Yeah, they go for it. Well, Scavenging Ooze gets a little bit better now that we have a creature in the graveyard. Rimrock Knight. That's a decent block there. Let's go with, let's just get out the Fabled Passage now. Pass the turn. Fervent Champion. Well, they're going to pump up the Rimrock Knight and swing in. They're going to have a shock. Frostbite. All right, well, now we know we can Giant Killer and kill the Rimrock Knight after they pump it with a Fervent Champion. I hope. On the next turn. Scavenging Ooze can also just gain life. You hit the Champion. Kind of an interesting spot. We're playing a little bit too slow right now, but I think we're playing, these are our best plays. Tax in, chop it down. The risk there was if they found another Fervent Champion, but they didn't play one on turn 1, and so I was hoping that would be in pretty decent shape to get it here for show. Stomps itself for us to lose our Giant Killer. All right. I'm okay with that. Maybe I should put it out on green. All right, pass the turn. We're going to try to use Scavenging Ooze in response to other stuff. If they hit land, they could have Frostbite and deal 3 points of damage. We'll still at least gain some life. They have Bone Crusher Giant, it gets a little bit annoying. Alright, well, either way it's dying, so that's fine. Let's get rid of one of their creatures. Gain some life. Lose some life. All good. Alright, let's go. I still want the removal from Giant Killer, so we're going to go Luminarch Aspirant. Hopefully it doesn't die right away. Counter here. Shock. All right, bummer. This is one of the biggest issues with Bajri's Solidarity is that we just need creatures in general. For like Bajri's Ket would be great if we just had a creature to play out. I could have gone. Actually, I don't have the mana for Giant Killer and Bajri Ket there. I think I still want to hold on to Giant Killer. I'd rather not let Bone Crusher Giant stay alive. They're obviously not hitting lands. They could have an Embercleave in this hand, and killing this gets them further away from actually being able to do anything with it. So, chop down. We'll take 2, down to 11. Play out Giant Killer. Pass the turn. So they could have another Rimrock Knight. They could have Shocks and other stuff. Phoenix of Ash. Okay. Is it better to tap that down or give Indestructible and start hitting ourselves? Getting to the ultimate on this could be nice, but I'm not sure if we get there before. If they have land and Embercleave, we're in trouble. If I can put Bajri Solidarity down. Let's go a little bit risky. This is our way of actually trying to win the game, I think, instead of just not losing, you know? So, counter there. No attack still, though. We'll still block the Fervent Champion. Pass the turn. Hopefully no Embercleave. And they may not need to start taking care of Bajri Ket now. They might even pump here to hit in.
Back.
All right, so we have Giant Killer. All right, let's pass the turn. Found all 3 of the Giant Killers. That's pretty sweet stuff. Bummer. I was hoping they would pump. I put all of that turn into hoping that they would pump. Berserker. 5 mana to create dragons. Flameblade Charger. Oh, that was bad stuff. That's at least something. Get rid of the Phoenix of Ash. No attacks past the turn. That feels like an Embercleave. All right, block here. I guess force them to choose here. So yeah, it has an Embercleave. So it's on the Berserker. And we're one land away from actually being able to use the giant killer here. So Fall the Imposter, I could put a counter onto the Berserker and then giant killer it. That would have been interesting. I think we still get to survive by putting this down though. So Fall the Imposter, counter onto Apparition, Solidarity, counter onto Apparition, no attacks past the turn. We get to block enough to go to 1. Oh wait, Fireblade Charger. Yeah, okay. Good game. We'll force him to attack, I guess. Yeah, so they have 6 points of damage. They get in for 2, and then Fireblade Charger kills us, so. Annex. Yeah, okay, good game. Well, we won't even block. All right. That was just a little bit funky running there, I feel like, but interesting deck. Fall the Imposter, man, if it did something right away, that would be so good. If it like killed something and then put counters on, it would be a busted card. All right, up against Baloth Master, and we have a turn 3 Apparition into turn 3 Apparition, which can be pretty busted. But on the draw, let's go ahead and mulligan, try to find some 1s and 2 drops. Keep this, drop Basri Ket, lead off with Mammoth. Unless we find an untapped green source, then life is fantastic. This deck definitely has a lot of good pieces in it, while still being a little bit weak sauce. Sorry, I'm ragging on the deck. I shouldn't be ragging on this deck. I think it actually it can do some good stuffs. That's a removal spell if I ever saw one. Bone Crusher Giant for show. Let's at least get a counter out of it. Yep. Or get a token out of it. Now they'll play it out, and then we get to Apparition. All right, down to 19. Well, at least we were able to read the telegraphed attacks there a little bit. Mammoth is pretty decent. It can actually do good stuffs. Giant Killer could be real good here. Do I want to hold off right now though? Let's just play out the Mammoth. That should be able to block Annex regardless. If they hit land and then Embercleave, we're in lots of trouble. Pass the turn. Yeah, if they don't have the Embercleave, Mammoth can at least block and kill. Shock, stop, Frostbite. Yeah, okay. Rude. Still potentially an Embercleave. Let's block. Nothing else? Really? Alright, Swarm Shambler. Pass the turn. Hold up Giant Killer. Perfect. That's actually what we're hoping for right there. Annex still gets to make 2 tokens, but they don't get the token from the Fireblade Charger. And now we can set up a decent board state. And we're still only just barely got down below our starting life total. And we're hitting lands to get to Vorinclex. Okay, then. All right. Do you have a Shock or another Frostbite? That's the real question here. Counter onto Aspirant, if they can let it go. Okay, they do have it. Bummer. Bummer. Well, they had everything. Castle Embereth means that they can kill this or hit him for 4. Do I still want to just block, maybe? If they have Embercleave, it's really annoying. They had the Embercleave. Okay, well, that's something. Land Vorinclex. Awesome blocker. Deal with this stuff for days. Well, not a land. Lifelinker's not the absolute worst, though. If we can survive to get to Vorinclex, we're in good shape. Don't tell me you have another removal spell. What? What? Oh my gosh. All right, come on. Let's survive one more turn. They have Embercleave on this next turn. I think we just have to block with All Seed on this guy to get lifelink. Are you serious? Is that every single Frostbite? Just about. Oh my goodness. Nicely done, my friend. You drew all of the things and our land off the top. For the love. Pass the turn. Yeah, so Cast Unbreath means that we have to block here. They get to kill our Vorinclex. So dumb. So dumb. And they still get in for 4. They had another Embercleave. Alright, I guess that'll do it. What a draw. I just gotta say. As far as good draws go, that's up there among the absolute best I've ever seen. Alright, we're gonna keep this hand. I am gonna lead out with a Giant Killer here. We only have 2 lands, and so I want to try to maximize as much as we can with these 2 lands. Fallen Imposter, gonna be pretty sweet stuff. Flourishing Falx. Well, Giant Killer becomes pretty good for that. Fallen Imposter actually is a pretty good answer for the Flourishing Fox as well. I think we're going to be using the Giant Killer up until we get Fall the Imposter, right? Scavenging Ooze, pretty sweet against this deck as well, if we can get some lands. So land, Fall the Imposter, no blocks. I guess I could have double blocked there. They would have only been able to kill one thing. That actually probably would have been the better way to go about it. I'm fine losing Lumeric Aspirant to kill this. Oh, it's kind of a land. All right, so do I get out the Scavenging Ooze or do I tap down? I think we tap down. Okay, pass the turn. Zenith Flare is still going to be annoying. We need lots more green mana. Go for blood? Okay. Questing Beast, also a little bit interesting here. Is that better than Fall the Imposter? This takes so long to get there. I could also go Scavenging Ooze, hold up Giant Killer, start exiling stuff from the graveyard. I want to be able to exile 2 things before I actually, like 2 things a turn before I play that. Swing in for 5, down to 12. If they have Zenith Flare, they can kill Questing Beast, hidden for 4. If we hit land, ugh, Pyromancer kills the Giant Killer. Well, drats. No blocks, down to 12. All right, Apparition. I think I actually take the Pyromancer here. Yeah, it would have just gotten a 1/1 out of that. But down to 8. Valiant Rescuer. Trying to Stinger. Trying to get our life total low. All right, we'll block this time. All right, come on, green source. Ozzy's Lieutenant. This is some tough choices, my friends. Ozzy's Lieutenant, protection from multicolor doesn't actually help us a ton. We need to start protecting against Zenith Flare, so we're gonna go Scavenging Ooze. Get rid of the Flourishing Fox. Gain some life. Get a counter. No attacks. All right. Oh my flippin' heck. Found another one. That's why we needed to... That's why we needed to forest there. Just could not find it. Well, we'll definitely block this guy. They're going to give us the trade there. They'll get a 3-3 out of this, which is annoying. We get to put out Bosri's Lieutenant. There's the forest. About time. They're going wide enough now, and with Draenus Stinger, they should be able to kill us. If they haven't found a Zenith Flare at this point, they probably found a bunch of cycling cards. And then with Pyromancer to deal damage just to our face, yeah, we're dead right now, right? So yeah, good game. Yeah, Fall the Imposter. I might have been able to prioritize it earlier, and I didn't. So, yeah, maybe it's just me not playing this one as well as I should, but it takes so many turns to get to where it actually does the thing you want it to do that it's a little bit too slow. This head might be keepable. We're gonna try it out. We're on the draw again. I would love to be on the play one of these times and not be against mono flipping red. Gosh dang it. Kaveri takedowns actually become pretty good in this matchup, and we don't need more white sources. So sure. If we can keep Luminarch Aspirant alive this turn, we're in pretty decent shape. Robber the Rich, not a Robber the Rich. Alright. Luminarch Aspirant, please stay alive one turn. So I can Kaveri takedown. Depends on how greedy I want to be actually here. I could block and trade. Alright, no blocks, we'll take it. Annex is annoying. Well, that's something. Alright, Swarm Shambler. Take down. Before they can pump this, let's just go ahead and get rid of this guy. Get a token. Counter on the Swarm Shambler. No attacks past the turn. And Embercleave, because you know they've got it all. Oh my gosh. Ugh, man. This deck honestly isn't doing terrible. We've been on the draw against mono red 3 times. That's the issue right now, is you don't win those games. And yeah, let's try again. Here we go. All right, we can see Waters, man. These tap lands have really been bad for us. I wonder if we should not have been playing them. We're on the play though. We have an aggro hand. I want to keep this. Put out the Mammoth, pass the turn. Luminarch Aspirant. Pass. Alright. Alrighty then. Well. All seed. Aspirant. Counter onto, I guess, the all seed Elias Bounty, because if they're going to remove something here, they're going to want to kill the Aspirant. If they have Heartless Act, of course, then I could have protected it instead. And of course, they're just going to have Extinction Event on the next turn, Shadow's Verdict. I don't think we got quite aggro enough to beat a Sultai Ultimatum deck right now. Unless they don't have ramp. Wolfwillow Haven? Yep, there's the ramp. I mean, that's not the absolute worst. It's gonna keep getting up to Vorinclex, because Vorinclex is actually kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. And we have protection with all seeds, so let's go ahead and put both counters here. If they have an extinction event, that's worse. If they have Shadow's Verdict, we're also still in trouble. But if they had Heartless Act, we could have protected it. Extinction event. Shadow's Verdict, of course. Alright, well. Yeah, whatever. Vorinclex can be somewhat decent in this matchup. They typically get the combo of like Tybalt into Vorinclex to try to get double counters on stuff, where we'll reduce the counters by half as well. Or they can just take our Vorinclex. Alright, Skyclave Apparition off the top. Dude, this has been brutal. These games have not been fun to play. Oh, we found the land to be able to play it. Not only have people had the answers for us, they've had the perfect answers at the perfect time consistently in every single game. Like, including a Valky, just to see what the last card in our deck was. This is so dumb. Oh, gosh. And we have not had a hand yet that didn't have 2 tapped lands. Which I've been keeping those hands, but even the ones that we mulligan have been the same thing so far. Yeah, we're done here. We're done here. Man, can't get a hand without a tapped land. Scavenging Ooze into Fall the Imposter would be cool if we hit the 3rd land, which we also don't have guaranteed right now. I want to try it. Yeah. At least we're on the play. I'm gonna grab actually a green source here, even though Bozriket would be nice to have. We've historically not been drawing as much green sources. All right, Scavenging Ooze. Come on, land. Well, bummer. Mr. Land Drop. Dude, guys, this one's not fun. I'm sorry. This is no fair at all. Yeah, okay. This hasn't been the issue of even like follow the Imposter. At the same time though, we've drawn it a number of times and it's not been, yeah, okay, we just didn't hit lands 3 turns in a row. I'm gonna try one more. And then we might just call it with this one. We have 25 lands. Like, we have actually been hitting lands. We've been hitting tons and tons of tap lands. I probably should not have thrown in the Fable Passages. Our deck is wanting to play a lot faster than I'm able to at the moment. 3 lands again. We have really good cards. We're going to keep it. I think I leave out with Swarm Shambler this time up against a Yorion deck. Luminarch Aspirant. Now at least if it gets targeted, we can get something out of it. Swing in down to 19. And just Extinction Event and those things are just so powerful. It's hard to really play around them at all. I think we probably just need to go aggro here. What's the most aggro way that we can play? Let's go all Seedalized Bounty to give protection as well. Which one's targeting? All right, well. I think putting a counter onto Swarm Shambler is going to be better. So pass the turn. I'm not sure how many counters is better before it stops being worthwhile. Well, okay. Now's the time to attack in. Permanently. Well, target removal isn't as good, but board wipes are awful, so that's fun. Bozzy's Lieutenant would be pretty decent, except that they don't even run destruction removal spells. I feel like every time they give white protection, they're like, yeah, it protects against board wipes. Woohoo! That's the thing you wanted. Now we're going to give them board wipes that don't do that. Crap. I feel like that just happens to white every single time. We're going to give you a good removal spell. Oh, wait, it sucks. We're going to give you this thing, and then we're going to give them this. Okay, then. Thank you. You guys are great. All right, attack in for 7 again. I think we hold on to stuff in hand. I'm debating if it's worth throwing out Apparition to put on the Mizmine Tome. It just gives them a creature, which could end up being even worse for us. If they have another Eliminate, we end up creating a creature and we have 5 damage still. If they have a creature to put out, like if they play Vorinclex, we know they're playing Vorinclex. We know that they're playing Valky. We know they're playing a few different things like that. Then they can block and we're in a little bit more trouble. If it's Valky, we can Apparition. So I'm debating if it's worth throwing out the Swarm Shambler, basically. I think it is, thinking. It deals with one of the big issues, and we still at least have creatures to play out, hopefully, after this. So, pass the turn. Extinction Event. Extinction Event, this gives us a not quite lethal, but more damage. Shadow's Verdict, we're going to cry inside for days and days. But it basically has to be Shadow's Verdict now. Otherwise, we can present lethal. They didn't escape or foretell anything, so Alrund's Epiphany is still good. So they don't have Alrund's Epiphany. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh. Nice. Not only are we going to have Shadow's Verdict, we're going to ramp into it. Oh my goodness. Well, let's get rid of that Mizmine Tome. Actually, I guess, you know, we can get rid of the Wolfwillow Haven. Them gaining life is really annoying. Them having enough mana to play Ultimatum is worse. don't think I've ever wanted to rope someone out more than I want to right now to this guy. They went for that good game right then and didn't have anything. Well, all right, we'll follow the imposter. Because that's all we got, because we can't find a flipping fourth land with 25 lands in the deck. 13 cards deep. Let's at least hit in for 3. Why don't we? Swing in. Eliminate. This is our first time we've even played a fall. Oh my gosh. The first time that we played a Fall of the Imposter. Yep. All right, that's game, right? I mean, there's nothing we can do to get ahead at this point. We're so far behind, man. No lands. Everything bad happened. They got their more lands. They get to draw cards, end up getting to Ultimatum. I've not seen people play the Beanstalk Giant, but that is a pretty decent additional thing to have that's ramp and a good card to play out. Well, let's just get out of here. All right, this one's done. I'm done with this, guys. I'm sorry that we didn't get a single one with this deck, but you know what? Sometimes that just doesn't happen for you. I will look at the stats on this one, though. I'm a little bit interested in how many times we played mono red. Oh, it's at the very, very bottom because it's below these ones, right? Fall of the Imposter. Oh my gosh. I was on the play 4 times. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, ran up against mono red 3 times and lost all of them. We lost against everything. That was just bad. That was really not a fun. We're playing a lot of cards that are really good normally. Like if you just play a lot of these ones normally, they do pretty well. Bozzer Solidarity felt dead in the deck. The tap lands just never ended up working out for us. So we found so many tap lands in every hand. And I should have not have kept stuff, but we also mulligan to 6 multiple times as well. So anyway, I'm done, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. For the next ones that are going to be better than this one for sure.